Hi and welcome to my review videos. This time I'm reviewing the M3 The M3 is a tier 4 American medium tank and is known in the community for its awful performance. Why would you ask? Because it lacks turret rotation. The M3 is equipped with a 37mm gun in the turret, which you can't use, and a 75mm gun mounted in the hull, which you can use. The 75mm gun in the hull is okay for its tier, but it lacks rotation and is only limited by a 50-degree rotation. Armor is pretty good versus small tanks, but paper compared to bigger tanks. Speed and maneuverability is very good, although it's not enough to turn the tank in time versus other tanks like medium tanks or light tanks. So welcome back to the garage. This time I'm reviewing the M3 as you may have known. Now, is this tank really that bad as people say it? Yes, it is. This tank is one of the worst tanks I ever played. I mean, this tank is this tank is the worst tank I ever played. From all the tanks that I ever played through my whole career of WoT tanks, this is the worst tank I played. For some reason I still have an over 50% win rate in this tank, but that's probably because luck, because I got carried by my team over and over again. But this tank, is there any tank I can refer to? The only tank what I really disliked and what is coming really close is this Type 58. For some reason I don't like the Type 58, but lots of people do. So but this tank, let's go over the stats first. We have a 310 hit points, which is quite low for tier 4 though. I mean, if you end up in tier 5 you're basically fucked. It has a 30-ton weight limit, what's pretty good though for tier 4. It has a very powerful engine. 440 is a lot for a tier 4. 38 speed limit, 43 traverse speed. This is a very maneuverable tank. It's basically like a smaller M4 Sherman, but this tank is a very good tank in maneuverability. In tenses of maneuverability. It has 51mm of hull armor, what's enough to survive some tier 3 shots or something like that, but not really in tier 4, 5 and 6. The gun is very good. It has a 75mm gun. This gun is one of the best tier 4 guns with our rounds, because it fires every 3 seconds, what's very good. It has a 92mm of penetration, what's decent for tier 4, 127mm of penetration with cold shells, 110 average damage. I think this is one of the highest average damage for tier 4. 110, mostly tanks in tier 4 do around 70 to 60 damage per shot. 110 is very high. I mean, you just need 3 shots and they're knocked out in tier 4 though. The dispersion at 100 meters is 0.41, so the accuracy is very good for tier 4. The aiming time, these are the things of aiming time I want to see on the M3. 2.1, I mean on medium tanks. These are the aiming times I want to see on medium tanks. But what is bad about this tank? I mean, for the stats wise, I mean, it has a very powerful cannon, it has a very good gun reverse, it has a very good fire rate, it has a very good speed limits, maneuverability, all very good. But what is bad about this tank? Well, it doesn't have a turret. It plays like a tank destroyer, and this thing just doesn't play like a tank destroyer. You have to play it like a tank destroyer, but I can't play it like a tank destroyer because the gun is pretty good for its own tier. But for tank destroyers wise, I would not recommend it to you to use that gun, to use it as a tank destroyer. It has a 37mm gun mounted in the turret, and it's basically the same as the 37mm. You can refer it to the M3 Stuart, its top gun, like this. So if you have an opportunity to use your 37mm gun, you have these stats. So average damage is quite low, penetration okay, but you can use your 75mm also. So what's the problem? Well, Wall of Tanks doesn't Wolf Tanks doesn't support multiple guns. So they said 2 years ago that they were going to implement it as a future update. Soon they said that you will that you can use your multiple turrets on your tank. So for instance the T-28, I think it's the Russian version. Yes, it's the Russian version. So the T-28 here. If you take a look, it has a high, it has very, it, it has a lot of turrets, and the entry is kind of the same because it has also 3 turrets. It has a turret here, what's not really a turret, but still, here a turret and here a turret. This 37mm cannon was mainly used in World War II to take out infantry nests or something like that with high explosive shells, and that 75mm gun was used versus other tanks. That machine gun was just used for protection. Um, but the main weak spot actually on this tank is the turret. It has a turret. In the past you could see the stats on the turret. Looks like they've deleted it, but the turret armor is around 60. You can't see it on the stats, but in the past it used to be 60. So now you have an NERD, but it's full of weak spots. This is a weak spot, this is a weak spot, this is a weak spot. So the turret is not. It's better just to delete the turret because it just catches grenades for you. And it has a tier 9 radio, but I can't really say much about it. The only thing I can say is that I do not have any gameplay of it, so you will see live gameplay for me playing this tank, because from all the games what I played, what is around 20 games, I haven't had a single good game what's decent enough to watch on YouTube. I got one game, but unfortunately it got deleted with the new update. We are now on update 8.11. But I'll let you see my stats on this tank, and this tank has one of the worst stats of them all for my tanks. So here you have the entry lead. I have a 57% win rate, but that's basically because I got carried by my team over and over again. Now I only have 430 experience. Well, it's actually quite high also. But I do not have any idea why my stats are very good, because I don't like this tank. See, this is the battle I wanted to show you guys, but unfortunately it got deleted. And I still got mastery patch first class, so that means that people are actually doing worse than me in this tank. But that's it I want to say about this tank. Oh yeah, by the way, I also have the E4 Sherman, what uses the same gun, and I said so many times before, always I refer to the M4 Sherman. This tank, the M4A2 E4 Sherman, has the same gun basically as the N3Lee. The only difference is that its fire rate is less, but and also the accuracy is less. So that's where the N3Lee is a little bit better than the E4 Sherman, but the E4 Sherman is then, in my opinion, better because it has very good armor. Like you can see 64 millimeters of armor. Plus you can actually turn the turret, and in the M3Lee you can't turn the turret because you can only look like 50 degrees or something like that. But also what trolls this tank over and over again is the horrible matchmaking of this tank. This tank always get placed in tier 6. I think I only played like 3 games or something like that in my own tier. Always I end up in tier 6. The E4 Sherman has the same gun, even worse, and it ends up in maximum tier 6, plus it's a tier 5, so no, this gun rapes little tanks, like for instance a Panzer 3 or something like that, or a Panzer 2C. So let's take a look here. What do you want to use here is the plus 10% to aiming speed. Is always handy to have on a medium tank. I also recommend to use the minus 10% to load time. Plus 5% to all crew skills is a very good thing to have. And also, if you may use it as a tank destroyer, I'll recommend for you to use camouflage net also. I'm gonna put it actually right on because I see that I just have it lying around. Toolbox is not a bad example also. A medium spalliner, if you really want to use it as a tank destroyer, I'll go with these two. Your crew skills, if you are going to reach 100% on your crew, I'll recommend to use repairs, because this is always a handy thing to have on medium tanks, especially on those tank destroyer medium tanks like this tank. Um, Camouflage net, also if you're going to use it as a tank destroyer, camouflage is very handy. If you're going to use it as a rusher, I recommend for you to use borders and armors, because you have a little bit extra of every single crew skill. Mentor is a very good thing also, because it increases all your other crew skills. Sixth sense is also handy to know that you're spotted. This is one of the first things I always research on all my tanks actually. But that's really it for the commander. On the gunner, I'll recommend for you to use, well, snapshot, no. I'll go with Deadeye, because it increases your AP and APCR and high explosive anti-tank shells. Plus this gun is very has a very high fire rate, so Deadeye is a very good thing to have, so that you have a high chance on critical hits because of your high shit, I forgot the word of it. Your high rate of fire, that's the word I was searching for. Um, this tank also has two gunners, and if you want to know why it has two gunners, because there should be one gunner up here and one gunner up here, so that's the reason why it has two gunners. Um, on the driver, I'll recommend for you to use clutch braking. Clutch braking you want to have. The first skill you're going to research clutch braking, because it increases your rotation speed, and you need a rotation speed to not let you flank him. Not let them flank you, I mean. Um, After that I'll go with controlled impact. No, this tank is pretty heavy for tier 4, and if you end up ramming, or you're going into ramming course with another tier 4, you're mostly going to win, and with controlled impact you're even going to increase it even more. Off-road driving also handy, because you have more maneuverability on rough terrain. For the radio operator, I'll use extended signal range, again if you're going to use it as a tank destroyer. Relaying is not a bad skill to research, especially if you're going to use it for the heavy tank line of the Americans later on, like me. Call for Vengeance, no. Um, for the loader, I'll recommend to use Adrenaline Rush, so it increases your 10% extra to load time. Attribution is not really needed, because you already are loading so fast, so it's not bad to, it's not something like you have to research. Notice the ammo rack is pretty good hidden in this tank, so that's no problem. For the shell setup, I'll recommend for you to use a lot of AP shells, a few gold shells, or if you really want to do something in this tank, go for all gold shells, then go for this, something like that, this setup. And a few heat shells to shoot away buildings, plus 75mm gun and tier 4. It has a pretty high caliber, so it will do a lot of damage also. So going for a little bit of HE shells is not bad at all. So that's it in the garage, and I'll see you in a battle. I'll do live commentary for this time. It has an AMX 40. No, the frame rate is pretty low, I don't know what it is. There we go. Oh my god. Of course. It always ricochets, and I have to get the fuck out of here. See, I can only take one shot, and after that I'm killed. Oh my god, you gotta be kidding me. And of course I can't even penetrate the weak spots. Whoa, whoa, oh my god. The end really. Oh my god. You gotta be kidding me. Oh, I hate this tank. Alright, so we are back in the game, and look at this, we have tier 4. We finally have tier 4. After 4 games of tier 6 where I got destroyed in one shot, we finally have tier 4. Now hopefully I will not suck in this match. So yeah, let's take a look how this tank feels in tier 4. The only thing what you have to hope here is that not all those medium tanks are not going to flank you in one shot, because those T127 there's all are in a platoon, and I'm afraid they are going to raid me. Now if no one's of the team is going to follow, uh, of course no one is following, and if I'm not going to keep the right flank, the right flank is going to flank the left flank, and we lost. People, why don't go lambing? This is the stupidest thing you can do in this game, is go lambing. And they still got this, they still got destroyed there, even though the whole team is going left. Well, anyway, let's go and take out the damn tree. Oh, probably artillery or something like that. Where is he? I can't see him. And of course our team, oh my god. How can you be so stupid? The whole team goes into one direction and you're still losing. Anyway, I'll take the day 20 instead of the M3. There we go, killed them. And I saved artillery. No, let's rush this flank, so at least I can flank them. Oh, there we have that other M3. There we go. I don't have no idea why I just won that fight. Oh. See what I said from the garage, that having some armor is pretty good though? I mean, M3 is still very powerful on armor though, versus versus lower tiers. No, please take out that 127. And yeah, I'll go for their scumbags first. Unless I really have to save the cap. Of course they're not going to do a single thing, so it's better to go for the cap first. And decap it. I wonder if you can fire through these wagons. Oh, nope, you can't. Ouch. Ah, I'm fucked. There's a Matilda going this way, and a Matilda has a very high penetration, so he can penetrate me. And I can't do him, so help. Oh, I'm lucky there. If I had a turret, I could have killed that and Matilda. Let's see what the rest of the team is doing. So he's firing at the Matilda, and looks like they both can't penetrate each other. Now they still have 3 artillery pieces left. That T-46 is useless, but that Matilda still can spot him. So wonder what is going to happen. Now if you angle your armor a bit, Matilda, you can bone stash shots. Don't do it like this. Angle your armor a bit and just park in front of him. No, you're just tanking shots. No, he's going to lose, and of course, oh Jesus, I can't look at other people. Death! Probably doesn't even know what angling means. Yeah, forgot that we lost this one. Anyway, I think this is the gameplay what I'm going to post on YouTube because I played 5 matches, 3 of them I won, but I haven't done a single thing in those matches. See, with the entry lead, it's just you have to rely on team. You can't carry with an entry lead. The entry lead is the worst tank of the game by far. Everyone says it. The entry lead is the worst tank of the whole game. Anyway, I'm still looking forward for the patch when you finally can use multiple guns, but I think Wargaming is never going to release that patch because they are saying it like 6 months or something like that. There we go, defeat. Let's look at the details. And I'm still very high in score. Anyway, so entry, it's a very maneuverable tank, it has a very good gun. Unfortunately, you cannot use the gun as a turret, so you have to use it as a tank destroyer. The matchmaking is an absolute devil with this tank. And the matchmaking will troll you over and over again, and I'll be happy when I finally can sell this tank and buy the M4 instead. So that's it, and I'm going to end this episode. So democration rules, and you can choose a tank for my garage. What do you want to see me review next? Place it in the comments below, and also I try to check out my channels to know what tanks I've already reviewed. Next time I'm going to review the Leopard prototype or the Jagdpanzer E100, and still I'm not sure which one of the two I'm going to research. The Leopard prototype A is one of my favorite tanks though, but you really need to have it upgraded, because I noticed when I didn't upgraded the tank that I was losing a lot of gains thanks to me. And once you have upgraded the gun, it's much better and you can actually carry, but that is a very difficult playstyle to master the prototype A. So that's it, and I'm following, and I'm